The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine acts as a hub for information, offering articles from archaeologists, detectorists and other specialists throughout the genre, featuring many links, event info and news articles associated to archaeology and metal detecting. We also offer professional review services and promotion for books, resources, videos, documentaries, gadgets, equipment and much, much more. The magazine is run by the archaeological and metal detecting community for the archaeological and metal detecting community. So come visit us at archmdmag.com, that's archmdmag.com, and check out information from our media section with all the latest content, news from the Archaeology channel, podcast and the YouTube channels that feature the now legendary Digger Dawn, the Man with the Hat and Archeo Duck, just to name a few. If you would like to offer an article, link or inquire about other services, then pay us a visit at archmdmag.com and drop us a line.
Hello everybody, welcome to the All Metal Mode, a UK podcast with your hosts Mike Hare and Mr. Dave Sadler. Good evening everyone and welcome to the show. Mr. Dave Sadler will not be joining us tonight. I think he's just been so busy he needed a break. I'm not sure if he's got anything going on or what, but I know he's been a really busy guy. So he pretty much said, "Hey Mike, I think I need a break." So don't forget to check out archmdmag.com. On Facebook, you can follow us at All Metal Mode Podcast UK, Metal Detecting UK Dirt Fishing, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Facebook group. Don't forget, please, we would so appreciate it if you would share with friends who metal detect. Let everybody know. You can find us on Spreaker. You can tune in live. And you can, of course, jump in our chat. We always have a great chat going and a lot of good things being discussed and talked about. You can come back and you can listen to us on Spreaker at any time. You can also download from Spreaker and listen to us on the go. iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, many ways to listen to us. If you are listening in live and you want to jump in chat, it's very simple. It does depend on what kind of device you are listening from, but look for the rectangle box with your pause. I believe your pause button will be visible. If you click on that box, you will see a chat bubble pop up. And a matter of fact, when people are in chat, you'll actually see there will be a number beside it. And if you click on that, you can come into chat. Now, you do have to sign up, but you can. It's very simple, and you can sign up right through your Facebook. It takes just a few seconds, and worth jumping into. There's always great conversations going on. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's right on the subject we're having and with our guests and everything else. Sometimes it gets a little off the rails, but it's always fun and interesting. Tonight's guest is Graham Dempsey, and really looking forward to this. He's going to talk. We're going to talk, of course, about metal detecting and all that. But he also makes a composite cleaning pencil that sounds very, very interesting. It sounds like his is a little special too. He makes his a little bit special. But we'll let him talk about that. Before we do that, boy, do we have a treat tonight. Mr. Luke Higgins, for the first time, is going to come on at least for a few minutes and talk. So, Luke, how you doing? Oh, hold on, Luke. You there?
I'm here.
All right. Boy, that's weird to hear Luke's voice on here.
How are you, Mike?
I am great.
Good.
Yeah.
So, fresh back from the Rodney Cook rally last weekend, and what a weekend that was. I mean, we'll have to get Gary on, but £35,000 of Mike is the final total for that raise for the free cancer charity. So, unbelievable, isn't it, in 2 days?
That is incredible. Absolutely. Wow. It was a lot of fun. Now, were you able to make it?
Yeah. I was there. Yeah, just about. I had ago on the car on the way up. But several £100 later, I was there. Yeah, I was at Rodney Cook. Absolutely fantastic event. Absolutely brilliant. It's got a very different vibe to any other rally, I think, because everybody knows that everything they've contributed, all those individual little bits of money makes that £35,000. So just a really, really good vibe through that event. I love it, the Rodney Cook. I can't wait for next year. I think the plan now is just every year they're just going to keep doing Rodney Cook memorial rallies.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. I think the initial idea was it was going to be a one-off, but it's just working so well and raising so much money. I don't think they're going to stop.
Yeah, when you're raising money for a good cause, how amazing is that?
Absolutely, yeah.
That is great. So tell me about your experience here. I want to hear, did you meet anybody new? Was there anything that really stood out for you?
It's good for us. It doesn't have the same kind of razzmatazz as Detectable this weekend. And I don't mean that in a negative way. The two events are just, they're very, very Detectables. There's a lot of bells and whistles and sort of showmanship around it. The Rodney Cook had a much more kind of traditional rally feel. So there was no kind of new machines being launched or test beds or any of this kind of my machine's better than your machine, which in itself can be quite good fun. But it was a very kind of old-fashioned feeling rally, and there was a really good camaraderie between the guys. So I arrived fairly early on a Thursday, which was great. So there was probably 30 or 40 people there when I actually arrived. So I got to see some of the marquee being set up, things kind of being put into place before people arrived. And about 700, I think, actually went in the end, making it the second largest rally in the UK. Big marquee there with a bar. In the evening, we had a comedian, which I think has got to be a first, the Metal Detecting Rally. We had a comedian on the Friday night, a band on the Saturday night. Hats off to Gary Cook, to be honest, and everyone else that organised it, with him, because it was good land. There was a bit of trash on a few of the fields, contaminated green waste, but that's almost becoming unavoidable, in the UK now. But there was some amazing finds come up. Lots of Roman finds, lots of medieval finds, a few gold coins. So it was a fantastic event. It really was. We launched our Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Rodney Cook special as well, which obviously I'll be sending you in the post, and that seems to have gone down pretty well, which I was pleased about, because as you know, Mike, from Dirt Digest, there's a lot of work, isn't there, goes into making these magazines in comparison
Absolutely.
to kind of page. The whole weekend was really, really, really good. Pete Terrell was there, Regtons were there, and we got to catch up with Julian again from Treasure Hunting magazine. He was there from the weekend. It was just an amazing event, amazing event.
That's incredible. Hey, so I want to ask you, Luke. I'm just trying to think of how to ask this in a way as not to. I definitely don't want to create any drama or anything like that. But you had mentioned what do you call it? Was it green waste?
Green waste, yes. It's not green waste, it's contaminated green waste.
Right, it's aluminum and little bits of aluminum and foil and that kind of stuff. Well, I seen Julian post something. I actually meant to respond, and then I got interrupted, and then I couldn't find it, and I've just been really busy, but I kind of wanted to know what was going on. Was there some complaining going on or something about it?
Very, very few people. All of the land was detectable. All of the fields were detectable. I had a personal farm, myself and Niall. We had a permission in East Hopefully that we'd been to for a few years. It was a really, really good farm, brilliant medieval area. And in between detecting 1 year and going back the next time the crops came off, that land had been covered in contaminated green waste. but it wasn't detectable. We lost the whole farm. The Rodney Cook rally, there was a little bit of contaminated green waste, nothing that you couldn't detect through, and it was only on 4 or 5 of the field.
Yeah,
So,
and I would like to say to
tiny area, so there was not a problem with contaminated green waste on the Rodney Cook rally. There was just a few fields that had a little bit of contamination on them.
And that's. I just want to say to folks that'll listen, that are listening, will listen in, that can't always be helped. I mean, you can't go back on the organizer and be upset. They can't check all the fields. They can't, they don't know. I know we don't have the organized hunts over here in the United States like you do, Luke, but we've had some where people, a select few aren't happy or some folks aren't happy. Well, you can only do so much research and stuff on a site and you just don't know until you get out there and hunt it what's going to happen, and we had a hunt, matter of fact, earlier in the year, and somebody was really mad they hadn't found anything and made a big stink about it. And yet people from that hunt were posting some fantastic finds, and it was just this one person. Other people didn't find stuff too, but that's never guaranteed on a hunt like that. If you want a guaranteed find, go to a seeded hunt. Other than that, it can't be guaranteed and conditions. But I'd assumed something had come up about it for Julian to have posted what he did, and he posted it. I thought it was very brilliant and well written.
I think to be honest, I think Julian's post, some of that would have been contaminated green waste, but I think that was more just in relation to generally, the amount of trash, iron trash and old plough blades, old farm equipment, bolts, spanners, that detectorists pull out of the ground. So you would. In the UK, when you've got that amount of people on a field, you're pretty much always going to be able to fill a tarp full of junk,
right?
If it's been removed. So you could take that picture on pretty much any rally. Certainly on any of the digs I've been on or any of the digs that I've run. Our fields are stacked full of fantastic historic coins and artifacts, but there's also a lot of iron, junk, and a lot of other stuff that obviously has been dropped, in lots of cases by the same people that drop the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right, absolutely.
But overall, I would say 95%, all of the fields were detectable. 95% of those fields were cracking. The actual detecting conditions were nigh on perfect. Really, really good flattened stubble. You could get your coil, literally an inch from the soil on nearly all of those fields. It was, very, very well prepared ground for a metal detecting rally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, while we've got you on, I know you don't have too long. Tell us where you're going to be, and I'd like to know about the magazine and what's going on. Do you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I'll be leaving for Detectable tomorrow, probably around about 3 p.m. So getting 3, 4, 5, probably arriving at around about 7 p.m. And I'll be heading up to the medieval market town of Burford in Oxfordshire for Detectable 2019. So as you know, Mike, Detectable is the daddy.
Right.
It's the WrestleMania or the Super Bowl, of metal detecting in the UK. So there's around about 1,000 acres of land with 600 acres that's new and undetected this week. So I'm sure there'll be some cracking finds come up, but almost just as important of detectable as the finds is the razzmatazz and the new machine launches, and kind of a lot of the manufacturers now tend to save their big announcers and their big launches for detectable. So obviously this year's title sponsor is Minelab. So we are expecting to see the Minelab Vanquish in some form or another at Detectable. So very exciting to kind of be involved in that and seeing the new machines before they hit the shelves. Obviously, we had it last year with Not the Macro, the year before with the Equinox, the parachutist that came out of the plane. So everybody really kind of the manufacturers really step up their game for detectable. I think Dilek, who both of us know. I mean, what event apart from detectable is going to make Dilek get in a coffin underground until someone finds them?
or somebody parachuting into the event with a metal detector.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all only detectable, and I think especially now it's Mine Lab again. You kind of think, what are these guys going to do that is possibly going to top sending somebody in by parachute?
Right.
Now,
do you know do you know yet what's going to be the highlights? Do you know? Is there anything you can tell us about who's going to be introducing new detectors or what's going on?
I've heard lots of rumours, but that they are just rumours. I can also now say that Seascope will be releasing a new machine as well at Mine Lab at their stall, and their stall is going to be right opposite ours. So we'll definitely be able to get you some time with Seascape. So obviously, I don't know anything about the machine, but there is a new machine coming out.
I'm a big fan of the 6MXI, huge fan. That's a great detector. So I will be really excited to see what they're coming out with, and good for them.
Absolutely.
Good for them.
It would be really nice, not that they're out of the game, but it would be really nice to see Seascope come back with a bang, because, in the UK, Seascope, they're still prominent now, but they were, 9 out of 10 of people that started detecting in the UK started with a Seascope. So, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of loyalty, I think, for that brand in the UK. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what they've come up with. It really will. And as always, at Detectable, the big YouTubers come along as well. So Nigel Regton picked up Paige and Ringy, Jocelyn Elizabeth, relatively published, and I believe also Aquachigger.
Great.
Yeah, so they'll all be along, and obviously at Detectable. And then our friends of All Metal Mode UK and RKMD Mag, Digger Dawn and Addicted to Bleach, they're both going to be in attendance. So it's going to be really nice to see these guys again, because we talk to them all the time, don't we? But I suppose you've never met them as yet. But I speak to these guys all the time, but probably see them once, twice a year. So it's really something to look forward to actually to be able to actually meet these people.
Absolutely, that's fantastic, Luke. And we should be going live Sunday at noon, I believe, right?
Yes, Sunday at noon. Yeah, I've already pinged that out to a few different people to make sure we've got some people available.
Okay.
For Sunday at noon, and I've got you Julian Evanart again as well.
Oh,
I think
fantastic!
I know your favourite.
Yeah, he really is. I don't get me wrong. We've had great people on. We had great people from Detectable last year. We've had absolutely fantastic guests. There's just something about that guy that just, he just keeps me smiling and listening and wanting more. He's such a great storyteller, and the way he looks at things sometimes are very interesting to me.
I think it's the experience and the knowledge, isn't it? I think that does it really.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Luke, I would also I like to talk to you a little bit when we get off here in a little time. I don't need much, but I'll message you soon. There is another idea I had, so we'll talk to you soon. Luke, thank you so much for coming on. Did we get everything out? Is there anything else you want to share before you go?
No, I think so. I just wanted to. I'm going to forget a few names, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Kev Marchesi, who I believe is listening at home with Alex Bliss, and a few other guys. Aaron Weedle, I believe, may be with them as well. A South Coast detective.
Lost you, Luke. Well, I believe we lost Luke.
You still there, Mike?
Oh, there you are. There you are. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I had a call come in.
Oh, okay.
Apology. So Scotty B, Aaron Weedle, the Debays, the Discriminators, all of these sorts of guys that have really supported us around producing the magazines. Just to shout out, for those guys, and looking forward to having a beer around the open fire at Detectable.
Super. Yeah, I need a lot of pictures and stuff of that, Luke.
Yeah. I'll send them through to you so you can do it. Obviously, you've got Dirt Digest and the All Metal Mode UK. I'll send the pictures direct to you, and then you can kind of do what you wish with them, Mike.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you for coming on. Love you, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Cheers, Mike.
Bye.
See you, mate.
All right, there you have it. Boy, that sure sounds like a good time. For everybody heading to Detectival, I hope you have fun. Everybody drink a beer. For me, I would so appreciate it. I'm very jealous. I will. One of these years, I will get over there. But let's get to it. Graham Dempsey is our guest tonight. And Graham, how you doing?
Hi, Mike. I'm doing okay, thanks. Yourself?
Good. I am doing good. I'm doing really good. I apologize. Luke is our behind-the-scenes guy. He does so much work for us and gets so many great guests, and he's really what makes the show. I mean, honestly. But to get him on, so we've been doing it we're looking at right around a year, and this is his first time on. We cannot get that guy on. And I really thought he would come on for like 5 minutes and then he'd be off because he has no desire to be on the podcast. But I'm proud of him. He stuck around for 20 minutes and talked, and that's fantastic. But so I apologize. We had you just sitting and waiting for so long. But
no, it's okay. It's okay.
We got you now. Let's jump into it, Graham. How long have you been metal detecting?
Well, I've been metal detecting since about 2002. I would say I was active until 2008, and then I moved abroad. I had a 10-year stint traveling the world, doing what I do in composites, and then settled back in the UK a couple of years ago, and just got the urge again and the itch to get out and start detecting again.
That is fantastic. I'm sorry, I didn't catch where were you living?
Across abroad. So I lived 5 years in Eastern Europe, a country called Latvia.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, that's where I met the wife and we got married there. Also, we lived in Germany, Dubai.
Wow.
And then returned back to Latvia and then headed back home to the UK.
Wow. What was I know it's off topic, but what was all that like? Is there anything? Did you do any detecting in Germany or anything?
I didn't do in Germany. I didn't see any active detectors in Germany, but I did see in Dubai there was a lot of beach detecting. When we drive through Poland, we've seen, of course, detectors on the fields. Never seen any in Italy, but mostly in Dubai we've seen beach detectorists.
Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. And I'm guessing if you find a ring on a beach of Dubai, it's probably worth some money.
I think they're a bit more clever when it comes to dropping stuff the locals, but of course the tourists are forever dropping stuff. So yeah.
So you've been detecting quite a bit. What detectors have you used?
Well, I started off with I bought just a simple coin shooting detector called the Amigo. So it was an Amigo 2 to sort of Amigo 2, and for me there was no prospect of me finding any land living in Runcorn in Cheshire. So I joined the club, got some info, and they pointed me in the direction of the parks, the local parks, and I ended up detecting on a park in Liverpool, which is probably brave at the time to walk around with a metal detector and a small spade. But I had permission from the park keeper, and I found some nice hotspots for Victorian and Edwardian coins, and yeah, it was quite an enjoyable time really on the parks.
I bet. Yeah. Well, how do I say this? I still like my Tesoros. They're still good detectors. I won't get rid of them, now, especially since they've closed their doors, as I'm sure you're aware of.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, after using like the C-Scope 6MXI, that is a really good, that's a easy turn on and go kind of detector, but the balance is better. You've got 3 tones instead of a single tone. You've got the iron audio. You can turn it down. It's a brilliant detector. I'm a huge fan of, here in the United States, when I relic hunt, my biggest obstacle is iron. Little iron, little nails and stuff like that. And the 6MX, analog, how I got into the Tesoros was analog really works really well in that. Better than I have found with digital detectors. Don't get me wrong, digital detectors have their place with me, and I love digital detectors, but getting through that iron, I just found I could do it better with analog detectors. But then, the 6MXI does it just fabulously. It's a really neat detector. But what are you using these days?
Well, I've just I had a Bandido, so returning back to the UK, of course, I still had a Tesoro Bandido in my travels, and if I had the opportunity, I did give a little scope around. So I first, when I came back, I had the Bandido, and then before I actually moved away, I had a Minelab Explorer 2. When you were saying about iron, it's one of them where you just hear a spit and you knew it was an iron nail or it was a horseshoe, or it did actually knock a lot of iron out. So you didn't dig as much iron as you used to, But now I've just stepped up now to the Deus, so I've just bought the Deus Lite. So I'm starting to learn that one at the moment. So it's it's a new learning curve.
Yeah, I sure don't think you went wrong there. I hear great things about the Deus. The ORX is really, I mean, I think it's hard to find a detector where you don't hear something bad. Somebody doesn't like it, and I have yet to hear anybody here in the United States using the newer ORX that doesn't just love it. Hearing really good things about the ORX. Of course, the Deus, is very well known and very much liked. So, they definitely hit another home run with the ORX, because that's popular with a lot of people here in the United States, and I'm sure in England as well. So good luck with that. I'm sure you'll love it, and I'm sure it'll do what you need it to do, and you'll get used to it.
I mean, my Minelab Explorer, I remember I must have paid about £1,100 for it all that time ago, and I mean, it's such good value these days for a decent detector. It's quite surprising that it's half the price nearly. So if you want to get yourself kitted out, it's nearly half the price, which is quite good in this day and age, really, with what's going on. So
yeah, absolutely. I just picked up a used Explorer. I'm a big fan of the FBS detectors, the E-Track, the Explorer series, and the CTX. Now, my favorite out of all those was the E-Track, but I think the Explorer's great as well. I think they all do really good on coins, although I think the E-Track's was a little bit better, but when you get into iron and stuff, I like the E-Track a little bit better. But the Explorer, I think, is right there with it at finding silver coins if you're not dealing with a ton of iron.
Well, my finds rates, it just, I don't know what happened. It was just a miracle when I got the Explorer 2. A friend of mine put his own personal settings into it, and I mean, I was, it was like a vacuum cleaner for me, basically. I could actually find, I could winkle between shotgun caps and pick out cut off, hammered, or a Roman bronze. It was so good. I had the confidence in digging everything that it said. I dug it, and I got a good result out of it.
I have an article in Dirt Digest magazine is a free online magazine that I'm doing with actually Mike Amanda Fusion is in the chat tonight, and with Craig, and this current issue I've got. Here in Texas, it's been very hot, 100 degrees. I haven't been getting out much.
Wow.
Definitely haven't been getting out enough to do a proper review of anything. So what I did the current month is I talked about the FBS detectors, the Mine Lab Explorer and stuff, and I just gotten another one. I just picked up, like I said, an SE, Explorer SE. So I'm talking about it. Right, just wrote an article about it, and they are still brilliant detectors. I think, as new stuff comes out, they get kind of, people forget and don't know and come into the hobby. But I will still say they are some of the top detectors for fishing out deep silver. Deep masked silver. They're still one of the best detectors out there for that. They are just brilliant for that. But and I'm hearing great things about the Equinox. Fantastic things about those. So but you'll get used to that Deus, and I think you'll really like that. I think you'll probably see a little bit more depth from what I hear from people and stuff, and definitely faster processor. Definitely not. I mean, if the FBS detectors have a major flaw, they are crazy heavy. Yeah,
I mean, it was a workout with the Explorer, but I mean, it was worth the pain and agony to travel across the field and actually pick up something worthwhile.
Yep. It is. You're right. It's almost a little torture. I make the joke that the Explorers and E-Track wrecked my shoulder and the CTX wrecked my elbow. Boy, they're heavy, and that is the big drawback to me, because many years of detecting, it will take. I don't care what detectors you're swinging, it'll take a toll. And I remember, even just as short as 10 years ago, not understanding why people were so interested in light detectors, and because to me at that time it was all about performance. I didn't care how heavy, how awkward a detector was, but now I get it. After 20 some years of swinging, it's like, I want light. That is a big factor for me, because my I wake up every morning, my shoulder's messed up, and it pops and it cracks, and it will take its toll. But so what's some of your favorite finds over the years?
Well, I think the best find I had was one in Northampton. We were invited by a farmer to go onto the field and trace a hoard that his dad found as a child. His granddad was ploughing the field, and his son spotted some green deposits, and they called in Bedford. I think it was Bedford Archaeology. They came and excavated the pot and the coins. Of course, he wanted to know where it actually was, and we were called in. We gave a little field walk with our detectors. Hit a point where we started to recover Roman coins. Off chance, I found a dagger handle, a bronze dagger handle from medieval times with no blade, but it still had the like a foliage at the top, and 2 barking dogs on the hilt of the knife. So that was probably the best thing I found. But we found quite a few bronze coins there, and we also found some of the tags from the archaeology when they like seal the bags up with the coins. So we actually found some of the seals for the bags as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I've never found the hold myself, so.
Right. Well, maybe someday, right?
Well, you never know. You go over it, and that's it.
I'm sorry. What's that? I didn't.
I said you never know. You never know until you walk over it.
No.
You know, it could be in the field, but you have to go over it to find it.
Yeah, I love hearing the stories, the different stories, that we get on the show about, these finds, and it's like, Mike Smith, who found the chariot. We've had him on, and him talking about, he ended up in that field that day just by chance. It was a field he pretty much wasn't interested in, and how interesting is that? That he just kind of stumbled onto it, and you're right. You never know. You just never know until you get out. Here in the United States, I've been detecting places where I don't think I'll find anything, and I'm going out with a new detector, and I want to learn it, so I go to a new school, and I'm just there to pick up coins just to kind of learn the detector a little bit before I really start going to old sites, and I stumble onto where a house site was in the early 1800s. I know that's not old for you guys, but for us that's big.
Still, I mean, yeah, it's still interesting. Yeah.
So I've done that before and stuff, and you just never know. You never know until you take your detector out and try. So
that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. So something I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping I can get you to go into detail about cleaning and stuff too, is you make a composite cleaning pencil for cleaning.
Yes, artifacts. I do. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Tell us about that.
Okay, well, it's the mechanics of it are in the materials itself. So there's 2 inserts. One is a carbon fiber insert with a little bit of my ingenuity in there for the resin formulation, and there's also a fiberglass with a vinyl epoxy formulation that holds it, so both of them are both very stiff. They're both, how can I say, they do not splay. You can resharpen these instead of just changing the nibs every time the tip splays out. With these ones, you just resharpen and off you go again. So you just lift the lid up, pop in the first insert. The black one is for cleaning hardened encrustments like sand, hard dirt. It picks off like a toothpick, whereas the white one finally files down. It's designed to file down the dirt until you can get the detail, so that you can identify your Roman grot or your Georgian penny, or it just files down very, very fine layers until you get to the finished detail, and then you just resand it and off you go again. So basically, it's a mechanical pencil with 2 inserts, and they're getting some really good reviews from metal detectors that are using them.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So what? Well, I mean, you kind of went into it already, but what? Can you elaborate a little bit? What makes yours special?
Well, I make these myself. I'm a composite engineer, so I know the materials. I did bring out a pencil about 15 years ago. They were little black pencils. I sold them on eBay, and they were very popular then. And I probably guess there's still people out there that are still got these black pencils because they just last forever. It's like an everlasting gobstopper. These will last a long time before you need to start looking for inserts. So, yeah.
Now, do you sell the inserts?
Yes, I will supply the inserts eventually. I mean, at the moment, I think anyone that actually buys these will find that they're going to last them a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but we'll be able to buy. So you're at a stage where you don't need to supply inserts yet. You've got they just last so long that.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And you just, like I said, just resand them and off you go. Just take one out, pop it in, couple of clicks, and off you go cleaning.
Brilliant. Now, what material would you not use it on?
Well, I would recommend not using on silver and, of course, gold, because it's an abrasive tool. You don't really want to be scratching gold with this, and you don't really want to be scratching silver. I would say that it's cleaning is discretionary. You must decide first what you want to do with the coin or the artifacts. You shouldn't just jump in there and start scraping the life out of it. You do need to, take care and attention of what you're doing when using these because it's a tool for abrasion, for light abrasion, controlled abrasion, and that's basically what they are. It's an abrasive tool.
Right. Absolutely. Now, I mean, I know how to use it, but if we have anybody out there that wouldn't, can you explain the process of how you would use it?
Well, if I had a Roman, like say for example, a Roman coin, I would use first the black one and take off the outer encrustment. Then I would take out the black insert the white insert, and then I would just rotate and just fine grinding on the surface. And this will just take the dirt off. When you get down to the patination, you will see then it won't scratch the patination. You stop there and you move around until you've cleared the whole coin, and you will see all the detail on it. The black one then you can use for picking out for finding details as well. You can resharpen it. You can pick out the fine details, so you get all the wording around the coins, and that's basically what I would recommend if you're going to use this tool to do that, to actually rotate the tools.
Okay, we've already got a question. We've already got somebody wanting to know what's the name of the pencil, and then let's go ahead and tell them how they can find it.
Well, the pencil's called a composite cleaning pencil, and they it's under the heading of metal detector and metal detecting on eBay. So you can get them on ebay.co.uk, and there's plenty for sale. I have a really good stock, and you can get them on eBay.
Yep. And I took a look at it. That thing looks very cool. Now, are you? I mean, other than what you? I mean, how do I word this? Let me think. So, I mean, obviously, you use them. You're a detectorist. Is this something you're really good at? Is cleaning artifacts and coins, and something you've been heavily into?
It's not really the cleaning part, but the for one, Mike, I seen, like I said, I noticed on the market these other like type of pencils, and when you talk to other detectorists and they say, oh yeah, I've got the red one, but it's I have to keep buying the tips for it. The wife's complaining there's fiberglass all over the kitchen table. It's, and with these there's virtually no dust comes off these. There's no spraying at all. Yeah, I can say cleaning's not been more of my forte, but I do have a good go, and I do get the results from cleaning.
Is there other processes you recommend after your pencil is used?
Well, there's the microcrystalline wax, of course, to preserve the patination. That I would say is a good must, really, to showing off the patination of the bronze.
Okay. Very interesting. What I'm going to do right now is keep talking. Tell me some more about them. I'm going to go out to eBay, and I'm going to grab the link, and we'll get it in chat so people can see it there as well. Give me 1 second, but please feel free to keep talking.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so like I said about the pencils, the black composite insert is for picking off hardened encrustment parts and cleaning out small details, whereas the white composite part of the insert, that's for doing the gradual filing down of the dirt so that you can actually get to the detail. It can be used in other ways. It can be used as a fine abrasive tool for modelling, for people who do like model planes and boats, for doing the adhesion. So it's like a surface like scratcher before you put the next part and glue it. It's very ideal for that as well.
Brilliant. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you ship these to the United States, right?
I can do it. I've actually sent some out to New Zealand, as far as New Zealand, and there's a small metal detecting club out there, and I've sent them. I think it's about 3 pencils, for their group to try out. So I'm waiting for some feedback from that.
Okay, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I am posting it now. We've got it posted. If anybody's interested, I just dropped a link in chat, and you can go out and see them and purchase. So now this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is your background, correct?
It's right, yeah. I've been in composites for the last 30 years, so it's took me around the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you know what you're doing. You're not just some hobbyist that, I'm going to make this is your what you do for living.
This is what I actually do. Yeah, pultrusion is my forte, and it's took me to Ohio. It's took me to Dubai, Germany, Latvia, Belarus. It's taken me to as well. So it's taken me to a lot of interesting places.
Well, I'll tell you something funny. I am from Ohio.
Yeah. Okay. I have been to. I actually had a friend from Ohio a long time ago. He was a metal detectorist, and we met at Gettysburg. I was working in Allen Bank in Pennsylvania, and we went to Gettysburg for a day out, and it's a metal detectorist like dream if you could. Of course, the signs over it says no metal detecting, but it is a really, really interesting place. I would recommend if anyone's going to just go to Gettysburg Battle Site. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. Civil War was pretty wild to imagine and see, go to those sites and stuff, and absolutely. I'd recommend anybody that comes for a visit to check them out. There's some really nice battlefields and stuff that have been preserved.
Do you know what the most interesting thing was? Is that I think it must have been about 3 metal detecting shops just outside the battlefields of Gettysburg. There was metal detecting shops. It was like, yeah, okay, you can't do it, but they're here,
Well, they still. I mean, you can still get on private property around it and stuff, though. I mean, there's still, and then the troop movements in and out of the area and everything else. A lot of stuff is still. A lot of Civil War artifacts are still found to this day.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible what Pennsylvania, Virginia, that kind of stuff, the stuff that can be found, the Carolinas, Georgia. So, although the battlefield's off limits, there are sites outside of it where troops moved and camped and everything else. And then there's a lot of battlefields that are not protected, or small skirmish sites and stuff like that. So, that's why you see the dealers so close, because metal detecting overall is really big in those areas too.
Nice.
Very big, but very interesting. Yeah, we got a link put up if anybody wants to see it. There's a link, and you also let me back up. If you search, I put in composite cleaning pencil, but his listing is metal detector / metal detecting all-purpose composite cleaning pencil. You can find it right on eBay. That's a very affordable cleaning tool. I mean,
yeah.
Very affordable.
I mean, there's not a big profit in it, Mike. It's more for. I'm not trying to undercut anyone, but in this day and age, money is money, and if you need a good tool that's going to last you, then it's out there, and it's actually including postage as well. UK postage is included, so it's well worth the investment.
Yeah, even for me to get one or to get them here in the United States, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll get one, try it out, and I'm sure it works great. You've been in this for 30 years, and I will spread the word here in the United States, and we'll do it on. We'll talk about it on, because I do an American podcast every Monday and Tuesday night as well. So we will definitely spread the word for you, because that's a brilliant design. I love it. And you tell me, I've heard of people having problems with splintering and everything else, and some other issues with cleaning tools. And it sounds like you've
I've nailed it.
You nailed it exactly.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah.
So yeah, brilliant. I love it. I love the design. I love everything about it. And I was really surprised to see how affordable, and then how affordable shipping actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Usually see, excuse me. Usually see some extortionate like postage charges, but for what it is, I do my own work, and I know what the prices are for shipping, and that's it. I'm not in it for a massive profit. I'm in it for getting a good tool out to people, and I think if it's reliable, then people are going to come back and recommend me.
Yeah, and something I loved about your listing is you showed the tools in action from people that have used them, that have sent you pictures and stuff. And the one, I believe that is probably a Roman coin, and just wow, it's, you can see the half of it is just a crusted up mess, and then the other half somebody's used your pencil on it, and it's just the detail is incredible. That was hiding under that.
This guy actually wrote this coin off. He just put it in his drop box and pulled it out just for a quick practice, and was like, "Wow, I've got a Roman bronze." Yeah, it happens.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at these pictures in shock about how like this. Well, your very first and second picture, like, you can see how much was built up and how much that's removed, and then That's just incredible to me, because I'm sure that's almost like a concrete by now on there.
Well, a lot of it is. A lot of it is like it's been on the surface. It's been sunbaked. The probably the farmer's been muck spreading, so there's a layer of that on there that's been baked in. So it's virtually fossilized, you know.
Right. Yeah, the good word, fossilized. It's almost like it's been fossilized. You're right.
Yeah.
And to see that, how much detail and how much that took off is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that coin in picture one of the Roman there. It's just all it is that's been used with the black pencil first to take off the hard, and then the white one to bring down the layers, and it just brings out the detail.
Yeah, that's stunning. I can't wait to try it. I will definitely. I'll send some pictures to you as well.
Cool, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures and I'll talk about it and stuff. Yeah, I'll help you get the word. I would love to. It looks brilliant. I know Luke was really excited about it. Like I said, Luke was talking to me through Facebook Messenger. You know, we did a call, how you can do that. And he was trying to tell me about him, but he was cutting up, and he said it 2 or 3 times. And I thought, well, I'll just wait till I get Graham on and we'll talk, because I'm not sure what he was saying. But it was funny. We actually had a pretty good conversation where we weren't getting cut, where he wasn't cutting out and stuff, but every time he mentioned it, he was cutting out and stuff. So it was quite funny. But is there anything else you'd like to add about it, or talk about cleaning or anything like that?
No, not really. I think the pencil's the proof. Has the proof in the pudding. It is what it is, and it does a great job. I mean, when you get yours, Mike, I think you're going to be very impressed.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure. Seeing these pictures and stuff of what it's capable of, I can't wait to. I've already got things in my head that I want to clean, some old finds that I kind of gave up on, and I'm thinking, oh, I can't wait. We'll have to pull those out and give them a try. But one more time, I don't know how to handle this, because usually our shows go a couple hours, but I think we've covered it all. I think it's been a great show. And I think we'll end it here soon. But before we do, once again, you can find them on eBay.
Yes.
I just typed in composite cleaning pencil. If you do that, it was the very first one up. I don't even know if there were any others available. I didn't look, because obviously I'd want yours. But let me... is it okay if I mention the price? Well,
yeah, sure. I've got nothing to hide. It's it's a really honest price for what it is.
GBP. I'm guessing that's something British pound.
It's Great British Pound. Yes.
Okay, and $6. I mean, geesh. If I know we've got. We do have some Americans that listen in on this one, not as much as our U.S. podcast, but to let you know how cheap you can get them here in the United States, you're looking at $7.41 approximately, and approximately $3.64 shipping, which is incredible. So still very affordable. Of course, we got to pay a little bit more for shipping and stuff, but no big deal. That's a heck of a price for such a good cleaning tool that'll last a long time, and just brilliant. But the actual ad is metal detector / metal detecting all-purpose composite cleaning pencil. If you look up composite cleaning pencil, it was the very first ad. So definitely want to go out and get one of those, get your fines cleaned correctly, and absolutely. And before we go, I want to say everybody heading to Detectival, I hope you have a blast. I would, if anybody wants to send me pictures through Facebook or anything like that, I would so appreciate it. Please keep me in the loop if anybody out there thinks about me. I would sure love to be kept in the loop. Of course, I will be watching on Facebook a lot, and Tony Kaywood said to watch. I'm looking for it now. Their Facebook group, but it's for the team here it is, Team Rudis Instagram. So I'm excited for that. I'm a huge fan of the Rudis as well. And so I will be keeping an eye on that, Tony. And so if anybody wants to keep me in the loop, please send me a message or on Facebook or anything like that. I would so appreciate it. But other than that, I think we're good, Graham. It was a real pleasure having you on. And
it was a pleasure to be on. Yes.
So super. And anybody interested, go out and buy. I mean, my goodness, they're so cheap. Everybody should have one. Go out and get one to clean your stuff properly. Just don't do your silver and gold. You don't ever clean silver and gold.
That's right, yeah.
You just don't.
No.
You just don't. But Graham, it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, and had a great time.
Me too, mate. Thanks so much.
Good deal. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
And good night, everybody.